Now get into the descriptive part, but case based. Okay. So what we are going to see is descriptive part, but case based. When they join, you are very optimistic and highly surprised. Okay. I have to give. So after having done a couple of questions, MCQs type, now let's look into, as I was telling you, descriptive question, case based. Okay. First question, ABC retail chain regularly monitors consumer trends and supply chain flexibility. The retail chain tracks consumer trends to adjust its offerings, ensuring they meet customer needs. Simultaneously, it maintains a flexible supply chain to respond swiftly to demand fluctuations. This strategy enables ABC retail chain to anticipate market shifts and adapt to them effectively, ensuring its competitiveness and customer satisfaction. Which type of strategy is a retail chain employing? Take time to answer. Don't just give me a random answer. It is one oft-repeated question. Clue is clearly given there. Yes. Tell me. It's there. You want to say something. There's some familiarity I see with the case study. So for the examination, please revise these 4 exercise sets thoroughly. That's why hard copy also is made. Okay. Yes, Kausalya. Do you find primary, secondary? See, when the question is asked, the line before the question, also you can take it as some clue. Because they are driving, that line is driving you into the question. For any matrix also, they'll use the term strategy only. They will not mention clearly matrix in all questions. Right. Okay. Now look at this ABC retail. Yeah. Something related to
the trend of the market.
Trend of the market. Okay. Somewhere we can accept it. Okay. Scenario. The market scenario, market trend. Okay. So look at this ABC retail chain. It is continuously monitoring the consumer trends. It's not regularly. Okay. And the supply chain is flexible. Now, what does this retail chain do is it tracks consumer trends to adjust its offering. So it is monitoring, tracking, and it is planning its offering according to this trend. Okay, they have a data, they forecast, and accordingly they do it because they want to meet consumer needs. Consumer needs should not be left unmet. But simultaneously, apart from all their pre-planning, simultaneously, they also have a flexible approach to respond to market or demand fluctuations. They monitor, they track the consumer need, and they're prepared well. At the same time, they want to have some flexibility so that if any thing stems up suddenly, they're able to meet that demand, any ups and downs. Because they are not giving demand increase alone, they are giving demand fluctuations. It could be a rise, it could be a fall. So they are well prepared because regularly monitoring, tracking the consumer need, and accordingly planning, right? So that is one thing they are doing. Plus, they also have some flexibility. What do you understand from this? And look at this particular, I also underline this. Okay, this much I have given. Answer is declared. Proactive and reactive. I'm well prepared. I monitored. I have the data. I'm supplying consumer needs, ensuring consumer needs at the same time, simultaneously. Any demand fluctuation will happen. So we have to be flexible enough. We cannot say that this is what my data said, this is what I will give. I should not do that. You see that? This is one repeated question mark. For any question, think whether this proactive, reactive will fit in. That is the scenario now. Okay. Yes, got it. But you have to draw a chart. See, this is only a key which the examiner is giving. But our Bharadwaj material answer for this question with the chart, with any expert's view, should be your main point. Okay. Okay. Go to the next one. A Mumbai-based conglomerate, PQR Limited, has announced a major restructuring of its business operations. The company has decided to split its business into 4 separate units: manufacturing, retail, services, and technology. Each unit will operate as a separate business with delegated responsibility for day-to-day operations and strategy to the respective unit managers. Identify the organizational structure that PQR Limited has planned to implement. Discuss any 4 attributes and the benefits the firm may derive by using this structure. So we are yet to look into this structure. So I cannot ask you on this, is my answer. Later on you will come to know the answer. Okay, so I can't ask you because we have not done the structure part. We are going to see now. Anyway, look at the next one. Okay. PQR. Then. Green Thrift Incorporated, a sustainable clothing retailer, is experiencing a surge in popularity due to growing awareness of environmental issues among consumers. The company specializes in selling second-hand clothing and upcycled garments, offering an eco-friendly alternative to traditional fast fashion. A major concern for Green Thrift is the emergence of new sustainable fashion brands in the market. These brands focus on using organic and recycled materials as well as ethical manufacturing practices which align with the values of environmentally conscious consumers as such. Identify and explain that competition from new sustainable fashion brands falls under which category of Porter's 5 forces model for competitive analysis. Now, having given, you need not have to find out which framework. Please write about that, draw that framework, write a line or 2. Now, which phase, that alone you detail. Okay, so look into the question and tell me which phase you find it. The 5 forces you know. Yesterday you have listed it also. Okay, now emergence of new firms, isn't it? What are the 5 forces? Recollect from your memory and tell me. Threats of substitutes, existing firms, new firms, bargaining power of the suppliers, bargaining power of the buyers. Now here the answer is new. Emergence of new fashionable brands, threat of new firms. So that is the answer for this. See? Okay, so you are going to draw the chart, you are going to write a word or 2 and then go into it. Okay, next one. Each organization must build its competitive advantage, keeping in mind the business warfare. This can be done by following the process of strategic management. Considering this statement, explain the major benefits of SM. So you are going to write the major benefits of SM. It's a theoretical question, right? Okay. Now, Reshuffle Corporation is a company that manufactures and sells office furniture. They offer a range of products from desks and chairs to cabinets and shelves. Recently, the company has been facing increased competition from online retailers offering similar products at lower prices. Analyzing the characteristics of products in the furniture industry, Discuss how Reshuffle Corporation can differentiate its products to maintain a competitive edge in the market. Now you look into the case study and tell me what comes into your mind. How can they differentiate? For this type of question, answer key is important because it is not from a framework. It is not from a contribution. See, use the answer key for this because others we have the answer. So tangible and intangible products, pricing factor, product features, product centric approach. It's not customer centric. My product. That's why I differentiate. Okay, and product life cycle management. So these are the general ingredients you have to give to discuss this particular component. Okay, now look at the next question. Easy Life Corporation, a leading manufacturer of consumer electronics, is considering launching a new line of smart home devices. As a strategic manager, conduct a SWOT analysis for Easy Life Corporation to assess the feasibility and potential success of this new venture. Consider external and internal factors that could impact the success of the new product line. What is that you're going to do here? SWOT analysis. So make a framework and bring in the merits and demerits. Very good answer. As soon as you saw, you replied it. So that kind of question is also there. Okay. Now, yes, we have to see the other question you have to see from here. So, now this one also, some questions like this. Explain the concept of forward and backward linkages between strategy formulation and implementation. Now here, lockstep fashion is questioned because you go formulation, implementation lacunae, lapse, again reformulate. Okay, so this is a question for which the answer you can take from here itself and do it. Forward linkage, again going backward. Okay, now this performance measures we are yet to do, and you can see it from the last chapter. Okay, performance measures we haven't done. That is a question here you have. And strategic alliance, that question we have already seen. This is an example of the advantages and disadvantages of a strategy is also asked. Okay, my dear students, are you clear about it? And strategic alliance, right? Strategy and strategic alliance. Okay, now we will go to the capsule. Take your 5th part. So we have to go to the okay, the B's are there also. Okay, now we will also go into the chapter organizational framework. Look at the this is the main part. So long you were seeing something called as McKinsey's 7S model. Market important. Right away market is an important question because in different ways, let it be MCQ or essay type, it's a very important question for the examination. This is right here. Both for essay type and MCQs. And now there is one point here. What is a hard S and what are the soft elements? Market as important. Hard, soft. Your strategy, structure and systems are seen as hard elements, whereas shared values, staff, skill and style are hard elements. Please study the 7S model of McKinsey and what comes as hard elements and what comes as soft elements. Okay, and a note on McKinsey we have given. Now mention this expert viewpoint, underline the expert viewpoint. Edson Spencer's viewpoint is being given. The ideal organizational structure is a place where ideas filter up as well as down. You know, ideas cannot be imposed up and down, where the merit of ideas carries more weight than the source. It's not who gave the idea. What is that idea which is important? Let it be given by a person from the low level of management, intermediate or high level. We are not worried about it. But definitely you have to understand that idea is important. Okay. Now mark this as important because Chandler's strategy structure relationship. Strategy structure relationship. You can, anywhere you can circle, you will come there. There are some administrative problems which are emerging. You find organizational performance declining. A new structure is established. You find organizational performance improving. New strategies formed. So you can go on and on as a circle. Okay, Chandler, expert Chandler's model. Now types of organizational structure. Simple organizational structure. Line organization. In your business studies or business management, you would have studied. This is also known as military organization structure or scalar organizational structure. Corporate hierarchy is very important here. Authority responsibility structures are very strong here. That's why I've shown you the scalar chain. If F has to interact with G, it is only through A. All these seniors are important. And only in emergency, F can directly establish a contact with G, which is called as gangplank. Okay, all these explanations was given. Functional structure, what is it? Based on the functions. Okay, parent source, simpler diagram. And for the organizational structure, any question chart is important. So I'm giving you a parent source also and our own. Okay, divisional structure. Now divisions based on geographic area, product or service, customer, process. Please remember, when you divide based on the areas. Urban, suburban, rural. Product, chemicals, plastics, whatever it is. Customer, domestic customer, wholesale customer, retail customer, export customer, foreign customer. Okay. Process, if you take any activity, no process is there. Say for example, cloth, weaving, ginning, spinning, dyeing, all these are there. Okay, this is there. And very good empirical example of divisional structure is General Motors, DuPont Company and Procter and Gamble. Please make a note of empirical examples in organizational structure. This is a question from the unexpected aspect. Unexpected question under this segment, you are getting the examples. I will give you DuPont follows which one of the organizational structure. This is also a parent source empirical information. Okay, that's why I'm giving you this. And multi-divisional number of divisions, and within each division there will be separate business. Okay, and this is suitable for MNCs. Okay, multi-divisional separate divisions. Each division will have a hierarchy and they will function in that manner. Okay, now SBUs. We all know SBU is a particular business, and above that corporate or the group head is there. Okay, your parent source diagram is given to you. Okay, for SBU, practical examples. You know what is a matrix structure? It is a hybrid grid structure. It is a combination of functional and project. That is matrix. It evolved after the World War II. Functional members will be there. Apart from that, you will have the project team superimposed on that. I think I've given you this structure also. See, these are the hybrid structure. A project form is superimposed on the functional form. This is one of the best diagrams you can show for it. You have all the functional heads. You have the project A, project manager, project B, its manager, respective teams. That is matrix. Okay. And why is the difference between old and new? That's a general one. Now, Davis and Lawrence inputs for matrix form. A contribution made by experts, Davis and Lawrence, how it is structured, why it is structured. In the class also I was telling you, study matrix form, but the question in that essay type mention about Davis and Lawrence contribution. Okay, that source is very important. Network structure, you know what is a network structure? Can you recollect the term network structure is virtual organization. E-platform. parent company in one country, headquarters, manufacturing hub in another country. Okay, so the network structure is virtual, e-platform. That's why I've given notes very clearly. Okay, virtual platform. And hourglass structure. You all remember hourglass? How is an hourglass? Middle level will be narrow. See, look at this. Top are the formulators, lower implementers. The need for the middle will come down. That is the hourglass model. Because you have technology. Ma'am, why is the middle or intermediate level coming down, ma'am? Their task is because you have technology to facilitate. Top people, planners have to do it. Executors have to do it. Technology has reduced the role of intermediary level personnel. Am I clear, my dear students? In a very simple way, narrow at the middle, wide at the top, widest at the bottom. Go to the next one, organization culture. What is meant by culture and why is culture important? And I gave you culture at Coca-Cola. If you remember, I told you that it is one which empowers the employees. Empirical case. Okay. And then an interesting debate is culture a friend or a foe? What would you say? What is your answer? Is it a friend or a foe? Is it a contributor or a obstacle? I'll ask you this question. Should a strategy be adjusted to the culture or culture be adjusted according to the strategy? Any day it's important. Whether the culture is troublesome or otherwise, culture is a base. Do you understand that? Okay, in that. So culture gives strengths through its values. It is accepted. It is very important. Okay. A mismatch should not be there. It should be resolved. Okay. Company's culture. Leadership. And regarding leadership, I told you that Lazu's example please give because the quote is there in your parent source. A leader is best when people barely know where he exists. When his work is done, his aim is fulfilled, they will say we did it ourselves. A leader is known not by his appearance, my dear students, by the performance. So you please write about Lazu's quote, which is very important. The leader lays the path. And do you know that apart from the qualities and other things, leadership roles, you have two types of leaders. I mean, transactional and transformational, isn't it? And inspiring leaders example, Narayana Murthy's example and Dhirubhai Ambani's example, Ferenczo's example. However, you can give your own example also. Okay. Okay, all this about leadership, definitely there is a question. We have given you empirical example, don't worry. So you make use of that. Okay. And look at this leadership for effective leadership. Why is effective leadership needed? It shapes a formulation of strategic intent and mission. This influences strategic action, which in turn helps in formulation and implementation. And strategic competitiveness is there above the average returns. Okay, so you can write this. You can also use this, any one of this. Design, leadership and implementation. So the leader is the center or the focal point of everything, all these mechanisms. Control. Segment 7 is control. As I told you, look at the control process. Setting up of the performance standards, measurement of actual performance, comparison, analyzing the deviation and taking corrective action. And of the three controls, my dear students, strategic control is important for you. That is, operational control, management control is there. Now, under strategic control, please mark this as important. 4 types of strategic controls. You know what are they? By now, you know what are they? Now, what are the 4 types of strategic controls? Please look at it, what I've given. Premise control, strategic surveillance, special alert control, implementation control. Do you see that? So mark the 4 types as important. As I'm doing this, I expect that you will tell me something about each step. Not full, but what you recollect. What you have revised, what you have studied, you're going to just recollect and tell me. Okay. The 4 types of strategic control. What you understand by that. I will send the soft copy also, okay? So for any additional, as we revised in the class, you can make a note of it. In Bharadwaj material, these things are given. Oh my. Now look at this, my dear students. Under types of strategic control, strategic surveillance, premise control. Okay, we start with premise control. What is this here? How is a strategy formulated? Based on certain basic assumption. What is the meaning of premises or premise? It means an assumption about the anticipated environment in which a strategy is going to be operating. Okay, so you have those factors in mind. For formulating the assumption, a set of environmental factors and industry factors are taken into account, and you are going to have this. So premise control is a tool for systematic and continuous monitoring of the environment. Okay, premise means what? Assumption. A set of assumptions about the anticipated environment in which a strategy is going to operate, and you fix it and it's being implemented. And you continuously have to monitor the environment, industry and organizational environment, because you have to revise your targets or strategies accordingly, right? So that is a premise control. Now strategic surveillance, it is unfocused in the sense, what is a surveillance? You are trying to get various sources of information. You are getting hold to various sources of information to know about unanticipated environment. You are gathering some surveillance, you say, CCT, surveillance, etc. So what are you doing here? You are doing an environmental browsing and look at the sources from which you are getting the authentic information. Maybe newspapers, maybe from conferences, maybe from discussions, whatever it is. But you need this kind of information, newer information. Okay, so strategic surveillance may be a loose form of strategic control. Means any source you are taking, no newspaper, it may be a hyper exaggerated, but you need that. Okay. Then special alert control. Now this is an unexpected event which is forcing the organization to revise a strategy. My dear students, please remember sudden changes in the government. What will you do? Whether they'll support your strategy or not, we saw today morning one example, the government is announcing subsidy and tax benefit. Should know that, no? So special and controls are very important. At times, unexpected events may force organization to revise their strategy. Sudden changes in the government, natural calamities, terrorist attacks, all this may trigger an intense review of the strategy. Now to cope up with this, a crisis management team is there and that will handle the situation. Have you heard of task force and all? Suddenly during disaster time they'll come. These are special alert forces. These are. You have not performed properly because situation is bad. Okay. Implementation control. Now under implementation control, we are talking about all those steps that that should facilitate implementation. Somewhere if you are not giving the initial steps, incremental steps to facilitate implementation, there will be a hiccup. So you are looking at the incremental steps and actions that would facilitate proper implementation. Okay, so list out the 4 types of control.
Miscontrol. Strategic surveillance. Special implementation.
So that's what you have to know here. And what are the performance measures? So you just see these important performance measures: financial measures, customer satisfaction measures, market measures, employee measures, innovation measures, environmental measures. Now your performance is assessed using all these. Financially, based on the customer satisfaction, based on employee satisfaction, extent of innovation or degree of innovation, okay, and environmental scanning done, all these factors. And there you have one important Venn diagram towards a more holistic measures of strategic performance. So look at this part which is given here, and I've also added here for you. Now you have a TBL framework. Again, this is also a framework. And where does it fit in? Under performance measures. If there is a framework question on performance measures, please remember it could be TBL or it could be quarterable bottom line. What is the triple? There are three important considerations there, which are people, planetary, and profits. Please look at that. People, planetary and profits. They are three important factors. And under fourth one, you are adding purpose also. Planet means environment. Okay, place, space, environment. So triple, in that framework you will have planet, people and profits. In quadrant you will have people, planet, profits plus purpose. Is that clear? So with this, the discussion of the 5 important aspects are done. Okay, so that is what we have given. So what is the right performance measure? Relevance, data availability, data quality and timeliness of the data. I cannot take redundant data and use it. Are you clear, my dear students? A quick review of the capsule we went in, but you can study Bharadwaj material. For a further quick revision, you can use a capsule. Okay, now we are going to go to exercise 4. Exercise 4 we did. We have to do exercise 3. Okay. Do you have the feel that you have stayed in SM for some time? From 6:30 in the morning, somewhere we are in here. Now, this is a case study which is going to be about the descriptive segment. Okay, so what should be your answer is this. Means which framework? So, the first one, I will read the question because the answer is appearing in the page. I am not able to scroll up. Okay, I will read the case study. This is a set of descriptive ones. Case-based descriptive. Okay. Messrs MTS Limited is one of the mobile telephone service providers in India. It has its own mobile network, towers and distribution channels. It operates through its team of network operation, technicians, marketing and sales, and after-sales services. Are you clear? Currently, all the team members are on its roll. Company knows that market is densely competitive. The environment is quite unstable and likely to remain so. Customers' tastes and preferences are changing very fast. There is a strong need for innovation and quick response. While eliminating in-house business functions, company is considering outsourcing major activities and focusing on its core competencies. In the given situation, identify the organization structure suitable for the company. They used so many terms from so many chapters, but the question is from a different chapter. They used core competency, they have been using so many other aspects, but the question is which is suitable for the... Yeah, sure. Messrs MTS Limited is one of the mobile telephone service providers in India. It has its own mobile network, towers and distribution channels. It operates through its team of network operation, technicians, marketing and sales, and after-sales services. Currently, all the team members are on its roll. Company knows that the market is densely competitive. The environment is quite unstable and likely to remain so. Okay, customers' tastes and preferences are changing very fast. There is a strong need for innovation and quick response. While eliminating in-house business function, company is considering outsourcing major activities also. In the given structure, identify the organization structure which would be suitable for the company. Think of one. Can you tell why you chose network?
All over India, many departments.
Very good. Network is the most appropriate. Most appropriate. So the answer is there. You can look into. Excellent one. I didn't want to show because it's already given there. Okay. So you can bring merits and demerits. Discuss about the network. Okay. Now go to this. Now you get the question is visible. Please read and give me the answer. Very good. What made you choose that? What made you say turnaround?
Don't do it was work perfectly fine. But after that, his market started declining. That's it. But they said it has its own effects on its cash flows and everything, and the employees as such. So the it says that the board of directors is working on is planning on is seeing for a workable action plan to which will revise the obligation.
See, now look at this persistent negative cash flow. What will they do here? But for turnaround strategy, what can they do? Do you see that? What did you choose? Turnaround. So case study should tell you, when you understand case study, answer is just coming out of it. Do you see that? So you have to write what you do. You will write the all aspects about turnaround strategy and entwine these case examples into that. Okay. Then see 2, 3. How many turnaround strategies asked? Mark it as important and learn it in the exam. Okay, certain things are repeated. That's why I'm saying this 4 set. What I feel is getting repeated. Okay, so you can do it now. Yeah. Market for baby care, ready-made garments for newborn, toys and strollers meant for babies are there. Messrs. Marquis Peasant is desirous to introduce new products for existing customers and new customers as well. The market for such products is narrow. On one side, there are customers who are price conscious, and on the other side, there are customers who are ready to pay premium price charges for upscale product. The company wants to charge low price relative to other firms that compete within the target market for the customers who are price sensitive, and also wants to charge premium based on uniqueness for the rest of the products. Which of the strategy is being considered by the company out of the strategies as suggested by Michael Porter at the business level? Also outline the advantages and disadvantages. See, when you select a strategy, you can write the advantages and disadvantages. Now you tell me, what is that you are having in mind regarding this particular example? Michael Porter has given 2, 3 frameworks. What is the framework you find it fit? That is one. And in that, one component is the main thing here. It is a very complex question. You have to do a repeated revision. You know what is this question? Among the 3 contributions or 3 or 4 contributions given by Michael Porter, which one is relevant here? So one is value chain analysis, other one is 5 forces, the other one is Michael Porter's generic strategies for competition, competitive strategy. So which is suitable? Value chain?
Between value chain and generic thing. I'm sure that the 5 forces.
Good, very good. Of the two, which is appropriate here? You remember generic model, that matrix? What did we see there? In generic model, product differentiation, cost leadership, focus differentiation, focus cost. Is that appealing, or primary activities and support activities are relevant here? Generic. Okay. In that, what would you suggest here? They are saying that you can suggest on your own, but there is an answer key to it. What do you find as more appealing? 4 options: cost leadership separately, differentiation separately. Then you have focus cost, focus differentiation.
Focus, cost,
Focus cost and focus differentiation. There is a focus they want to give. So both this. That you found out focus is a great thing. What made you say focus?
Targeted customers.
Perfect. Good, yeah. Now advantages, disadvantages, whatever, draw the matrix and do on it. If you are finding out something, no, my dear students, it's very, very important. Now the next question, please note one point very clearly. That is, the question on objectives is repeatedly asked. Did you see that? Sometime back also I showed you that. Explain in brief the term objectives as a part of strategic intent. Also outline the characteristics, objectives of the objectives a company must possess to be meaningful and to serve the intended role. So do the in the strategic value, intent, whole thing, and objective hierarchy separately on objectives. Okay. Value chain analysis consists of 2 activities: primary activities and support activities. As per Michael Porter, both activities are intertwined. Do you agree with this statement? Are they intertwined? Is the first question you have to answer. Also delineate the main areas in which primary activities of the organization are grouped. So subdivision of primary activities you're supposed to say, and also say whether both of them are interrelated and entwined or each stand distinct. Intertwined. Very good. Then primary activities. Can you mention the primary activities?
Sales.
Think. Okay, refer to your running notes. That much I'll allow. The notes which you have. Or you want to search from your capsule, you do it. See the capsule and tell me. Primary, and I want also to hear from you support. Again, a repeated question in the examination. Michael Portas. We saw yesterday, isn't it, that multicolored diagram? You remember that green, orange and all were there. It will be like this. And you have margin finally. Diagram you remember? Very good.
It's involved logistics operations, overall logistics, marketing and sales and service.
That's what she said, no? And how many activities under support category?
For man infrastructure, human resource management, technology development and procurement.
4. Good. Easier. So this is also asked. Now, this I want you all to say what were the 4 criteria we saw yesterday. I mean, today morning also we saw. Explain the 4 specific criteria of sustainable competitive advantage that a company can use to determine the capabilities that are core competencies. I possess this because, and the other doesn't have. The 4 attributes we saw this morning. Do you remember? 4 important things which I have. I'm better than the rivals. I told you this question comes for descriptive part. You remember that 4 points? To say that one company is unique vis-a-vis the competitor. Four criteria which makes a company stand distinct and unique and high as compared to the competitors. She smiles, so she's going to give the answer. Nice. I thought you'll remember that. Valuable or precious, costly to imitate, non-substitutable. You remember this? Rare. That 4 points. Okay, that is one repeated question. So please make a note of these answers. I will show you also on the screen. Okay. Okay. Now see this. Startups rarely aim for stability strategy. While agreeing with the statement or otherwise, support your point of view by briefly stating as to when the stability strategy is meaningful. State the major reasons for considering stability strategy as one of the corporate strategies by the company. Okay, so this is one theoretical answer you have to write. Now I will ask you one question. Do startups go for stability strategy? No. Why do you say? Immediately you said no. Why?
Startup and they're aiming for both of
They are just startup. They have to aim for growth. Where is the question of stability? If it's already grown and matured only, you can do that. Very good. Okay. Stability strategy and no work strategy, is it same? In what way they are different?
no work strategy. We don't even put the basic efforts.
It is inactive.
In stability,
Stability
Something
we
is done to maintain the stability.
you have to do enormous work to stabilize yourself in the market, to hold that market share. Enormous efforts. Okay, that is a point. Okay. So next one is purely a theoretical question. So there is no question for this. For 5 forces as given by Michael Porter, explain the common barriers which may cause restraint for keenness of the new entrepreneurs. So you are here, what are the barriers that will prevent? So one segment of the 5 forces is taken and asked. What are the barriers that may restrain new entrants from entering into the market? We saw that I told you the master chart, which will give you the sub elements, so that you can write. It's a theoretical question. It is not this. Now, strategic performance measures are key indicators that organizations use to track the effectiveness of their strategies and make informed decisions about resource allocation. In the light of the statement, state various types of strategic performance measures. My dear students, tell me about the strategic performance measures. What are those measures? Can you tell me? I listed out just now. I listed out. I want you to give me that. Side headings. Strategic performance we saw on the chapter 5 capsule. That is types of strategic control. Control is of 3 types: operational control, managerial control, strategic control. Strategic control is of 4 types. That is what you said now. Surveillance. The question here is, what are the measures that can be used for assessing the performance of an organization so that it is much superior to that of its competitor? A set of measures just now I read from the capsule.
Relevance. One or is it the relevance?
No. Recollect. Performance measures, strategic performance measures. Mark it as a repeated question. You must study it, a theory question. No. I thought you will all remember. You got exhausted. We are almost towards the close. Don't worry. Come. Measures, financial measures, customer satisfaction measures, employee measures, market measures, innovation measures, environmental measures. I said no? Okay. Now the next question definitely I can ask you, because digital thing would not be there in the mind. This question is about digital transformation. So strategic performance measures, control measures, digital transformation, market as important. The last chapter I'm finding that question repeatedly, because leadership at least you will write on your own. These 3 are technical. Control. One is control. One is strategic performance measures. The last chapter, what you see as highly technical is this, because vision, mission and all already you study. So that implementation steps will not be a hassle. Leadership, even you can write on your own. The qualities of a leader, autocratic leader, democratic, at least you can write. But these, without studying, how will you touch it? Okay, so this is strategic performance measures. And the third one is digital transformation. These three segments very clearly I've given in Bharadwaj material and in the PPT. Okay. So look at this. Specify the digital transformation aims and objectives. Always communicate. Be ready for resistance. Implement changes gradually. And also you have offer assistance and training. Implement the changes gradually and offer assistance and training. That's it. Okay. So with this, we have successfully done with our grand revision in SM. As far as possible, very quickly, given the time. It's a big cartload. We both the days we try to use every minute productively from 6:30 to around 12:30, 6 hours, close to 6 hours. And so quick glimpse is what the capsule will give. And the exercise set is you are going to revise these 4 exercise sets. Any number you can do. I will also be sending some 50 important questions and other such things. But please read this clearly. Are you clear, my dear students? Okay. Now, can we do all the markings? I mean, whatever you want, can you tell me so that I will send it to you? Okay. So, any doubts you have, any thing you want a clarification? You're okay? Okay. Thank you so much. That was a very good participation. I think day 1 you came and day 2 also you came and you also interacted whenever question was asked. In fact, the exercise that was possible because you answered only. Otherwise, what can we do? Isn't it? Okay. Thank you so much. And God bless you. Any doubts, you can text me anytime. Do well and also give a feedback. After the exam is done, how was the question paper? How did you manage? Okay. Thank you so much.